Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, 12/26 of 2021, December 26th, our final Sunday of 2021. Thank you so much for being here today. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. Hope you're still enjoying your time, your holiday weekend. We're approaching the end of 2021. Next week, I'll be saying Happy New Year. It's flying by, huh? There's all that buzzwords going around that says, that the things are speeding up. Time is speeding up. The planet is speeding up. The vibrations, the frequencies of the vibrations are speeding up. And our planet is truly evolving. We are evolving into an era of peace. And that is why we are here to prepare ourselves and evolve now, so that we can help to usher in this era of peace rather than go kicking and screaming and struggling and, or not evolve into the era of peace. We want to evolve into living in peace and really hold the space and the vision for what world peace can look like and feel like and be like, so that we can be the change we wish to see in the world now. Let me give our intro. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. To create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. We've been at this for some time at the Community for Conscious Living here, and we really are evolving and evolving quickly. And the time, I can't say when that mega shift is going to happen, but I do believe it is coming soon. And there are some, for instance, the discipline of human design, for example. The man who brought forward that body of teachings, he highlighted, and this is many years ago, that in the year of 2027, that there were going to be so many shifts astrologically and cosmically, that there's two gates of the I Ching that are going to actually separate, and the chakra system shifting and everything. And bottom line is that there are going to be a lot of things that are different. And so cosmically, this is coming. I really do believe that by the year of 2026, 2027, that we are going to have a major evolution in our consciousness, a major shift, just with what is happening time-wise in terms of projections of climate change. We have to shift before that time, or the planet may not survive. And so consciousness will need to evolve in one way or another, whether it's in body or not in body, whether it's on this planet or not on this planet. Life as we know it is shifting and changing very rapidly. I believe we have an opportunity to shift our consciousness, to evolve our consciousness, to raise our frequencies so that we can live in that era of peace. I believe that perhaps there is a choice, that we have a choice to take the higher road, if you will, and live in that era of peace. And if we don't take that choice, I'm not sure, I don't like to be the doom and gloom, but it feels like there is a polarization, right? We can see things have been polarizing, things have been, there's a lot of divisiveness, division. And I'm not saying that one is right and one is wrong in the divisiveness. What I'm saying is we can go further into the divisiveness and the separation, and I don't think that leads to a happy place. But if we come to a realization of what is needed for the highest of all, to really unite the planet, to really unite the people, to create sustainability and world peace, and the answer is not in the either or, it's in really just transcending the differences and coming to a place of wholeness and a place of oneness, bringing us into a state of unity. And so if we want to evolve, and we want that opportunity to live in peace, live in world peace. Right now, the condition of our planet is one that is far removed from peace. And every system, like structural system, cultural system that we depend on right now, that we're so immersed in, is far from peace. It's far from peaceful. It's far from sustainable. It's far from just. And we are waking up to it because of the polarization. The polarization tends to force us to look at what we believe in, what we stand in, what we can really in our deeper hearts and in our guts be passionate about living for. And I hope that it helps us to really self-examine, examine the depths of our heart and our true desire for love and compassion and peace and unity, and find within ourselves what it takes in order to have that, not to pick a side on the either or, not to choose the left or the right or the high or the low or the divisiveness, either side of the divisiveness, the great divide, right? But to look deep within ourselves and define for ourselves what we feel at the depths of our beings, in the center of our hearts, that place where we can really connect in with the capital T truth inside of ourselves and live for that. Not to go with this side or that side just to be a part of anything, but to find the truth within yourself and live for that. When we really find that deep truth inside of ourselves, the way that this body is orchestrated, this body is created, when we find that truth inside of ourselves and we realize, we tap all the way into the depths of the oneness with the all that is, what serves our own highest good, our own health, our own wholeness, is also what serves the highest good of the all that is, of everything in creation, of all of the planet, all of the life on the planet, all of the animals, all of the waters, the airs, the plant life, the everything that exists, that is going to create, that is going to bring us into harmony, wholeness as one body, create sustainable environment and a peaceful world. That is going to come from finding the depths inside of ourselves and aligning with that rhythms of nature, and being in harmony with the all that is. So today we are going to talk about 7 takeaways. We've been going through the book, The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. We've gone through the first 9 questions. There's 5 sections in the book. Section number 1 is all about sustainability and world peace. We went through 9 questions in that section. Today we're going to do a recap of 7 key takeaways from that first section. And then I want to take us deeper into a heart-centered, heart-based exploration. The last question that we went through last week, is it possible to have world peace? There's really 2 parts to that answer. One of it being expanding the awareness and consciousness from the mind perspective. So last week it was one of those where I had intended to go into the meditation for the pineal gland so that we can expand the awareness of the mind, so that we can free ourselves from the constraints of just the pictures that we are so immersed in about what we have to have in order to survive in this world, because what we have been conditioned to have is what is keeping us stuck in the divisiveness. And so the more we can do to free our minds of that, then that will free us to let go and be open to the pictures of what world peace can actually look like and feel like and be like. There was that part to it, and then there was also just the heart-based, heart-centered piece of coming into connection with one another through forgiveness, through acceptance, through compassion, and through like not stopping with any of, as my teacher used to say, not stop with any of the outside pictures, but go deeper and deeper and deeper until we can really come into that love and compassion and oneness with each other. So there's that piece of it too. And I kind of got, if you were here last week, you realize I got a little torn on which way to go once we got into it. So I shifted into the meditation for the pineal gland, but I felt like I cut short the part for the heart. So I want to give a little more on that today. So let's come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together. We come together as one, and let's bring all of our focus. Bring your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your face, your senses, all of your perception, your organs of perception. Bring it to face the center of our circle, right into the center point. And take a deep breath and bring your heart center to focus into the center of our circle. And take a deep breath and bring your hara, that energy, ball of energy at the front of your belly space, just bring your belly to face toward the center of our circle. And together let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your pure divine light. Just feel the stream of pure divine light, or perceive it in whatever way you do. Feel this stream of pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle, filling all of this space of our circle with pure divine light. And as this pure divine light streams into our circle, just let it cleanse and purify this virtual space that we occupy together. And let it touch into your senses, your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of touch and feel and texture. And let this pure divine light, this vibration, let it just emanate through all of this space. Let it permeate through all of this space, cleansing and purifying all of this space. This pure divine light, purifying and cleansing. And let this light, as it meets your sensory organs, let it travel through your sensory organs. They take in information, and they take in the pure light and the pure vibrations. And they also, as they take that in, they become clouded over with the images, the sounds, the perceptions that we have taken on from things in our past, things that we've seen, things that we've heard, things that we've smelled, things that we've tasted, things that we've felt, touched. We have associated perceptions and beliefs and patterning, established patterning and templates that have conditioned us to hear things in a certain way, to perceive things in a certain way, that clouds over the truth of the moment, because all of those perceptions come from things of the past. And the perceptions of the past that we hold on to, they serve us to a certain extent, but they also cloud over the truth of the moment. So if you will, just make an intention right now. Call out directly to your source and ask your source to help you to release and allow that light to cleanse any of those pictures, perceptions, sounds, any of those things, old energy patterns that are clouding over your ability to perceive the truth in this moment. And take a deep breath, and as you allow this pure light, the vibration of pure light to stream in, just take a breath and breathe it in like you're breathing it in through your sensory organs and through your skin and through your heart into your body. And as you exhale, just blow it all out and release any of those old energy patterns that hold the pictures, the images, the smells, the sounds, the sights, the feelings, the touch, the texture, any of that, just any of the associations with that are not serving your highest good in this moment. Just blow them all out and let them go. And you can even make a sound and let that bring some resonance into your body. The sound for the sound code, the divine name of divine light, is Nur. So you can even bring in the sound of Nur and call on Ya Nur, O divine light. And let that pure divine light wash through. Let it bring a vibration into your physical body as you recite that sound. It resonates, it vibrates frequencies that resonate through your body. And that frequency of pure divine light, Nur, Nur, you can let that resonate through your body and let that light have movement. Let that vibration ripple through the fluids of your body. Your body is 70% water, approximately. And let the sound vibration ripple through the fluids of your body. And let that pure divine light, the frequency of pure divine light, as everything is energy, let the frequencies reverberate through your physical body. And just let it cleanse and purify anything that's not serving your highest good in this moment. Ya Nur, Ya Nur. And a big breath, and together again, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your unconditional love. Let's call on that vibration of unconditional love, the divine name and sound codes for the unconditional love. Wadud, Wadud, Wadud. You can recite that and let that reverberate through your body. Just imagine this pure divine light and unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle, filling the entire space of our circle with pure divine light and unconditional love. And let your heart center, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space, the front of your chest, let that face into the center of our circle. And let that become a breathing portal for you, so that as you inhale, you're inhaling in through that portal of your heart space, and breathe in that pure divine light and unconditional love. As you inhale, breathe that in through your heart center, and let that light and that love stream down into the center of your heart. And as you exhale, just blow that out and release the tension, release the constriction from your heart space. Your heart is that portal that connects you with the all that is. It is a portal that can take you through the center of yourself into that vertical core of yourself, that core of energy that runs through the top of your head, all the way along the front of your spine and down through your base. All of your energy centers, your subtle energy centers, they're like funnels that go into your body, and they connect in with that core vertical core of energy, your life force. And they're like energetically speaking, they're like eyes that look out and perceive. It's like your connection between your spirit self and the subtle energies around you. So all of these centers perceive the subtle energies and they funnel into your core life force energy that runs vertically through your body. So as you let this heart funnel tip up and receive this pure divine light and unconditional love streaming in, let that pour through that funnel all the way, just releasing the tension and constriction from your heart, expanding your heart and funneling all the way through into this vertical core, this pure divine light and unconditional love. And just let your energy body lean back in your physical body, like you're leaning up against the front of your spine and receiving this pure divine light and unconditional love through your heart center, through your subtle energy centers and into the core of your body. And just imagine yourself like a standing under a waterfall at the center of yourself, receiving this fluid, gentle stream of pure divine light and unconditional love, and let yourself be like a sponge that is taking this water in, really taking in this water all the way into your core, becoming saturated and satiated with pure divine light and unconditional love. Breathe that in all the way into your core. Let it fill you, and as you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. Really feel your presence in your hips coming to sit into the seat that you're sitting into. Rest into your space. And sometimes our bellies can hold that, a lot of fear, anxiousness, anxiety. So if you want, you can even put your hands over your belly, your hips, your low back, and just feel your presence in that part of your body and give some security. Let your hands give some security and safety into that space, and feel your presence into your seat. And again, together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your eternal compassion. This is the compassion that is the ocean, the vast ocean that contains the entirety of our existence as we know it from this 3D material realm. In the Sufi teachings, the first emanation from God consciousness is our Rahman, the eternal compassion. It is the womb through which everything else is born, and it is the womb that contains the entirety of existence. It is eternal compassion. It is the ocean that all of our time and space existence subsists in. Right? Beyond the time and space realm, there is no even, I don't know if there's any such thing as eternal, because eternal references beyond time and space. But when you're already beyond time and space, do you need a word for eternal? It's relevant to us here because it exists beyond this time and space realm, and it contains the entirety of the time and space realm. Rahman. So feel yourself held in this womb of compassion, this container that is nurturing, that is holding, that is loving, that is accepting. As you breathe in that divine light and unconditional love, exhale and drop down and let yourself land into this cozy, nurturing womb of compassion. Be held, be contained, be loved, be accepted. Feel the safety and security of being in this space, filled with light, filled with love, filled with and held in compassion. Continue to breathe with that as we move through this meditation today. I'll read the names of the first 9 questions that we went through over the past 9 weeks. We went through 9 questions. And if you're looking at recordings from the past, there was also a couple that preceded this. There was one that outlined that touched on the 5 sections of the book. And, it's what are the, what's needed as we transition into an era of peace. And it touched on an overview of the 5 sections. And then we went through, and there was another one just about visualizing, like what does it mean to visualize world peace, because it's so beyond our realm that we've been living in. So what does it mean to actually live in a world? It's one thing to know peace in your heart. What does it mean, world peace, where the whole world, the entirety of our existence, is living in and sustainably subsisting in this world of peace, a world of peace. So much is changing and so much will be changing. So the first question was about cruelty and hatred and fighting in the world. Where is the love? How can we find love? If God is a God of love, why is there cruelty and pain, hatred and fighting in the world, especially amongst the people, right? We're the ones that do it. So why do we have this within our humanity if God is a God of love and God created us in God's image? So that was the first question that we went through. The second question is, how can we embrace love when the world appears to be dominated by people who enslave others and hurt others and the planet, humans, animals, and the planet, for domination, control, and money, right? Where there's domination, control, and greed. How can we embrace love when we're living in this now? And what is shifting as we move into the era of peace? The third question, why do you, God, allow so much prolonged suffering? How can we, as beings of compassion, which we are, how can we be with the suffering in the world and still know love or believe in love? The fourth question was about world hunger. Is it possible to end world hunger? Is it possible for the planet to support and feed all of the people? The fifth question, are we supposed to eat animals? What's our role with animals in the new era? The animal agriculture industry is one of the cruelest things that, if you believe in the vibrations of the cosmic soup that we swim in, the things that will resonate. I mean, everything is energy, and everything contributes to the collective energy. So if you look at what our collective consciousness, our collective vibration, what's happening from that is reverberating into the world and into our cosmic soup from the animal agriculture industry, is an immense amount of trauma and cruelty that is being perpetuated and affecting the vibration of our existence on a macrocosm and microcosmic levels. It just reverberates throughout everything. So the question was about, are we supposed to eat animals? What is the role of our human role with animals in the new era? The next question, is the planet overpopulated? Do we need to reduce our population in order to sustain life here? Do we have enough? The seventh question was, can we survive climate change? Will we survive the climate crisis that we're in right now? The eighth question, is humanity capable of constructing a sustainable environment where all of the elements of creation can thrive? Can we as a humanity pull this off? And then the ninth question, what we went through last week, was, is it possible to have world peace? Is it possible, is it possible to have world peace? There were, as we went through this, there were some key takeaways that were some consistent messages through. And I want to go through those consistent messages, the key takeaways with you. And there was, each one of those, though there's some overlap between those questions, there's also some distinct differences. And so each one of these meditations took us to a different place, and there were some running themes. So the running themes, the number one that I want to recap here is that we are all cells of one body. We are all cells of one body. We are not separate from any. So what we do to ourselves, we do to the whole. What we do to any part, any piece, we do to the whole, right? Like the red blood cells don't say to the white blood cells in the body, hey, you're on your own. I'm doing my thing here. And if you don't like it, and if it harms you and you can't live with it, well, too bad, right? Because the body knows that when it can't hurt one part of itself and still live. The body, and this is the second key takeaway, the divine body is healing. It is coming into homeostasis, right? When the body senses illness in the body, it will do what it needs to do to correct the systems of the body so that the body can come into homeostasis. Our role in caring for the body, whether it's your individual body, whether it's your community, your family or your community, whether it's your country, whether it is the entire planet, and I suggest we look both at our own bodies, our families, our communities, and the entire planet, that when we give as human beings, right? Human beings, we're the ones that are not in harmony with nature, right? At our core, our bodies want to resonate with nature, but we have been given that thing called free will. And in our free will, in order to exercise our own free will, we have to forget our connection with the all that is and how to live in harmony with nature so that we can exercise this free will and then recognize that, wow, things are off here, things are not harmonizing, things are not working in the way that really brings us love and joy and peace and ease, and things are dying, right? Things are dying in our bodies, things are dying in our families, in our relationships, things are dying on our planet. And once we realize that, right, and we can say, oh, wait a minute, this is my free will that has created this. And how can I bring this back into harmony? How can I bring this back into alignment with the rhythms of nature, the nature of my body, the nature of my relationships, the nature of the planet? Everything else on the planet already is there and knows it. If we as human beings, whether it's an illness in the physical body or on the entire planet, if we can give the body the proper conditions for healing, the body knows how to heal itself. The body knows how to heal itself. So when we give the proper conditions, the body will heal itself. The divine body is saying now, you are all cells of one body, my divine body. That's number one. Number two, my divine body is healing. I am coming into homeostasis. I'm orchestrating the collective healing process within the divine body. We're going there. We are healing. I'm coming into alignment with nature and with all of the elements of nature and these divine attributes of source, the divine attributes of nature, the love, the compassion, the beauty, the forgiveness, the generosity, the wholeness. Where the body is healing and we're coming back into homeostasis. And this is what is creating our shift into the era of peace. And I want to say we have a choice because we still do have that free will. We have a choice to align with the conditions for healing and move into that wholeness and that body of living in peace, the body that is ready to live in peace. And we can choose not to, at which time I don't know what will happen, but I don't even want to find out. Why question? Just go. Just heal. The third key takeaway is that in this grand orchestration, this divine design, the wisdom of the body, there is the innate wisdom of the body, the innate wisdom of the body, the innate wisdom of the collective, the wisdom of source that is divinely orchestrating every piece and every bit of what we have experienced on this planet, what we are experiencing on this planet, and what we will be experiencing on this planet. There is a divine design, divine orchestration that is guiding everything. And with that, there is an invitation to trust in this wisdom and the flow of this wisdom. The fourth key takeaway from this is that, having said that, by this design, you will have enough and you are enough. You will have enough for whatever is your role in this grand orchestration. And everyone, everything, every animal, every plant, every rock, every grain of sand, every drop of water, every molecule of air, every human being, every life on this planet is significant and has a place here and is here as a part of the divine design. And, sometimes I think of like when you're watching a television screen, if you had a big screen TV, and there's a little pixel that goes out on the television. You notice it? I mean, typically you do. You'll notice as the movie is playing, if one little pixel is not lighting up and letting the different frequencies and colors change and move through it, you notice it. It becomes a distraction, right? And so sometimes I think of us as those little pixels in the grand movie that is playing out on our planet. Every little pixel has a role. Every little pixel is showing up, and the energy and the life force and the divine expression that's moving through that pixel is significant to the grand orchestration of this movie, this ultimate reality show that is this life on this planet. And so your pixel, you are significant, and you will have, if you surrender to the flow, have everything that you need in order to fulfill the role that you're here to fill and to play the part in this movie that you're here to play. It doesn't mean that you resign yourself to playing the part, but trust. Your part may be very different from your neighbor's part. So your requirements may be very different from your neighbor's requirements. But what you need in order to be sustained and fulfilled and feel the purpose of being here in this life, you have it. And you will have it. And you are it. And you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. And you are perfect in your design, in who you are, in how you show up, in what you bring to any venue, to any relationship, any conversation. You are enough. The fifth key of this is sufficiency. Sufficiency. Yes, you are enough, you have enough. Sufficiency mindset as opposed to abundance mindset. When we rest, that abundance, in my view, is like the flip side of the coin of not enough. In the way that we speak of abundance, in our culture, we speak of abundance as if like, oh yeah, I got to have more, I got to open to have more, I got to open to have bigger, I got to open to have better, right? And it's a comparative thing. But if we drop into that enoughness, knowing that you have enough and you are enough, you will have sufficiency. Let go of the need for abundance. When you drop into the sufficiency, the abundance will flow. And it flows from generosity, right? When we drop into that knowing of sufficiency, and we can be in a state of receiving with gratitude, receiving the generosity and allowing it to flow, and feeling in that state of generosity, that's like that gives that sense of abundance. But it comes from sufficiency. Sufficiency. And where we have fallen out with each other, come into competition with each other, come into comparison. There's a constant, as our humanity, we have a constant need to compare and contrast and to be better than or pity or any of that kind of thing, right? So if we can allow, this is number 6. Number 6, to release ourselves from the separation of each other. One of the keys to this is forgiveness. Perhaps it is the key. It's like that linchpin, or that what is that thing called? It's the pin that when we can forgive in this sense means it's, I guess, more of a remorse and repentance and forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others. It clears the separation, the walls of separation, the turning away from each other. It clears that and brings us back into connection with each other, so that we can begin to come as a larger body back into wholeness, forgiving whatever has created separation between us, and allowing that forgiveness to dissolve the barriers, to dissolve the walls. And I'm not saying on a day-to-day in our humanity that we don't sometimes need barriers, that we don't sometimes need protective walls, those places where we hold judgment and separation from each other, especially this group against that group, or these people have done wrong, or those people have done, had less than or more than or whatever. Any place where you hold separation. And we'll do some work with this today. We can bring ourselves to a place of forgiveness, and rather than be turned away, let the forgiveness bring us back together so that we are facing each other heart to heart and connected, and coming together in a place of acceptance and compassion, a healthy state of acceptance and compassion. And then key number 7, and as we move forward, we're moving forward in honesty, in integrity, with respect, in sincerity, and in reverence. Because when we recognize that the life force that gives life and consciousness and expression to my physical form comes from my source, the life force that gives consciousness and breath and expression through your physical being is your source. And if we can be with each other with the intention of seeing the life force of source and the expression of source moving through and expressing itself, the divine existence, through everything that we meet and everything that we see, everything that we come into contact with. Just imagine if you looked at everything and every other being and said, my beloved God, source, whatever you call it, whatever name you, Great Spirit, whatever name you use for it, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus, whatever you call on. And you say, help me to see your presence in this being that is in front of me. Like, let this be you. Let me acknowledge you as the life force and existence within me, the consciousness within me. Let me acknowledge you and ask you to help me to see through your eyes and perceive through your senses the you that is in front of me, and be like God to God, source to source, spirit to spirit. Just imagine what our world would be then. So that's number 7. Key takeaways to sustainability and world peace. So let's from here invite you to feel into yourself and feel into any places. Just notice if there are any places in you that feel constricted, that feel turned away from any segment of population or any person or any ideals or anything like that, that you feel like you don't want to be turned away from. Anything that feels like it's putting a constriction around your heart or a barrier around your heart. You can put your hands over your heart and take some breaths into your heart center to help you to really feel into your heart space. Breathe that light and love and compassion into your heart. Let yourself feel, what do you feel in this space? Notice any feelings, images, thoughts, belief patterns. And it may be one that you feel like, well, I don't want to connect with that because that is evil. That is awful. That is something that creates disharmony in the world. If it is bringing constriction to your heart, and if it feels like, it's like a judgment or a turning away, and if it feels like it's like as opposed to a protection that you need, sometimes, even then, you can kind of trust in source and that, whatever gets washed away is something that is not needed for you at this time. Something that's not needed for you. And just imagine your heart facing straight ahead and just call on the energy of that thing right in front of you. And just let's call on that divine light and imagine that like a ball or a presence of divine light and unconditional love and eternal compassion right in front of your heart, between your heart and that the energy or the essence of that person or thing or entity or system or whatever it is that you're feeling closed off from, turned away from in judgment of, anger toward, resentment or hurt or pain, woundedness, whatever it may be. And imagine this light between your heart, the eye of your heart, and between this thing. And just, you can imagine this light all the way in front of you. That's covering over, but it's creating a veil of light in front of all of your sensory perceptions and in front of your heart and in front of your belly space, in front of your whole body. And on the other side of this light is that thing. So you've got the light that is protecting you and that is cleansing and purifying any energies that pass between. And that is giving you that filter, that lens of love and compassion through which to see. And if you have an intention or an ask, something that you would like to ask of your source in this moment, make that intention or that prayer directly to your source, as if you are speaking directly to your source. I'm going to read from last week from the question, is it possible to have world peace? Because humans are by nature designed to make mistakes, but this does not prevent them from living in love, harmony, respect, and equality. It does not prevent us from living in love, harmony, respect, and equality. Therein lies the perfection. It does not come from not making mistakes. Perfection doesn't come from not making mistakes, but from understanding the truth and basis for mistakes and navigating the return from mistakes with honesty, integrity, vulnerability, compassion, and self-acceptance. With honesty, integrity, vulnerability, compassion, and self-acceptance. Doing this consciously and skillfully can strengthen bonds and forge deep relationships whereby humankind can learn to care for each other without question, doubt, fear, arrogance, jealousy, or envy. It can foster cooperation and camaraderie. It can build strength that does not exist before or without having made the mistakes. And we are capable of living in peace. And this is one of the keys to living in peace. So just imagine your heart or feel your heart with this light in front of it and that thing that you feel turned away from on the other side. And ask for help. Ask for understanding and truth for the basis of this mistake. And allow yourself to be lovingly and gently honest with yourself. And I want to invite in, if there is something that you want to ask for forgiveness for, or that you need to forgive. And forgiveness is really that just returning back, right? After there is an acknowledgement of the separation. And then there is an I'm sorry. And then there is a forgiveness, a please forgive me. This is going right into Ho'oponopono. That I'm sorry and the please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And as you are saying I'm sorry, if this feels like it's not something that you are sorry for in and of yourself, or it's not your fault or your own doing, see if you can just represent the whole of humanity and our mass consciousness turning away from the rhythms and harmonies of nature and our oneness with Source. And on behalf of the humankind and humanity, offer that prayer, the I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Ask for help from your source if you need that help. I'm sorry, please forgive me. 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 And I am certainly, I feel the remorse for how far our humankind has come, how drastically we've turned away, and how out of harmony we are with the rhythms of nature, how disconnected we are from our source. And I know that I have played a part in that, not by a fault necessarily, but because it's the world that I've been taught to live in. And every day I want to do my part to return more and more to living in harmony with the rhythms of nature and in connection, oneness with my source. And there are things that I know, and there are things that I am not aware of, that I don't know of consciously. And for that, I say, I am sorry. Please forgive me. And I allow the veils to be lifted. So I invite you to allow the veils to be lifted and allow your heart and your energy and your body to return, to be returned. You may even feel yourself being turned, parts of you being turned to face this light in front of you. and possibly even that thing on the other side of it. And ask for help to see the truth behind the mistakes and the basis for making the mistakes. To learn whatever it is that you need to learn, or we as a humanity need to learn what we need to learn on a human level and on a soul level, and to understand and to return back to a state where our hearts can be open, where our hearts can witness the light of our source in everything that exists. There was a poem by the poet Rumi that says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. This is where we deepen within our hearts to transcend the right and wrong and find the oneness in the all-encompassing purpose and meaning in everything that exists. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. 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 And let's round that out with the remainder of the Ho'oponopono prayer. Thank you. Let's move to the gratitude piece. Thank you. I love you. Gratitude and coming together in love. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I invite you to take a deep breath, breathing in the divine light, the unconditional love, the eternal compassion, the breath of forgiveness, of gratitude, of love. And as you exhale, just relax and release. Release anything else from your body, from your mind, from your heart, from your soul, from your spirit, from your higher intellect. Releasing anything that's not serving your absolute highest. And again, breathing in that light, love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your body, letting that light, love, compassion, acceptance, gratitude, forgiveness, all of that, let it resonate at your core, let it fill your body, let it awaken the knowing within you so that your entire core is resonating with these divine attributes and you are being the change you wish to see in the world. Let it reverberate at the core of your body and emanate out to every cell of your body and permeate into the consciousness of every cell of every fiber of your being so that you can walk this earth as a living symbol of love and kindness and peace and compassion. Be the change we wish to see, and your energy that is emitted from you will become contagious and help to create and help to usher the way for our humanity to align with this evolution into the era of peace, to be the peace now. And if you want to wiggle your toes and stretch out your feet, feel your presence in your feet and on the ground. To be the love, be the peace. All right, and with that, I'll end the recording and open for any discussion or Q&A. If you're listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. Find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive reminders and replays. Be sure to get on our mailing list. And when you do, you'll receive a free gift. It's a one sheet. It's called 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet as a reminder of who you are, what you are, why we're here, what this world is about. And it comes with a 15-minute guided meditation to help us to embody this light, this love, this compassion that we wish to be and to see in the world. With that, I give you one more thing, an invitation for next week. Next week we'll start on part 2, which is the gender roles, gender identity, relationships, family, and children. So I'm excited to get into that piece. So join us next week for that. And for now, I will end the recording and open for the Q&A. I thank you very much.